South Central, so I'm good at the chancleta, so you know how it goes. Hi. This is an essay. I love reading in San Francisco because I end up being a token prose writer, so y'all gonna hear an essay today. It is a four-part essay that is really me trying to claim my own history center, especially as an Afro-Indigenous person. I think with the genocide that's going on, it's very important for Black folks, for Indigenous folks everywhere to claim our history center, because it's very easy for people to try to erase it. So this poem, yikes, see, look what y'all got me doing. This essay, this prose, is called In Defense of My Own Historicness, a Californian Symphony in D minor. Part 1. When I think of who I am, the most consequential identities I claim are that I'm a person who loves pink, and I'm a Californian, and I am Black. These identities make me inclined to love delusion, for reasons that should not need explaining here. Being a lover of pink comes with its own form of delusional grandeur. The footnote reads, I love a cool fuchsia pink, a pink that screams, Barbie is my god, that screams, I pray at the altar of the Sherman Oaks Mall. It's a hoochie coochie pink, a pink that lets you know that even though my hair is natural, I have the energy of a 40-inch Brazilian bust down, and that even my texts have vocal fry. Thank you. And being a Black Californian, I've learned to live in the state's contradictory identities. California is a liberal sanctuary, except in the Tenderloin and on Skid Row. California is a state where lawns are decorated with sun-worn and forgotten love is love and Black Lives Matter signs. It's a state that's so perfectly redlined that each year I find myself asking, where did all the niggas go? And where did all the niggas go? Where are the Black folks who pioneered disco, techno, funk, G-funk, who brought us linguistic hits like finna, hyphy, out of pocket, China, and slaps? Where are the press and curls, the bumped ends? Where's the bass and low riders? Where are the knees that have been caked with Crisco and powdered by the Santa Ana winds? Where's your aunt, my uncle, their kids? I want to claim my dignity in the face of a state whose mythos is swallowing me. I want to know how to stitch ourselves to California's story. How do we take everyone's truths, half-truths and lies, and hold space for how we are curled around one another like threads in history's rope? What does it mean for us to, as Toni Morrison said, claim ourselves as central? What does it mean to call the minor details of our life historic? Audience, we are here together, and this moment is historic because we are people living. I want us to be fastened like glow-in-the-dark stars on California's ceiling, illuminating the state in a glow. You cannot see California without seeing us. Part 2. To become a woman who writes about California, I had to lay prostrate at Joan Didion's grave. I have to wear 2 skirts, 2 jerseys, 2 leotards, 1 sweater, 2 pairs of shoes, and a pair of stockings all at once for 40 days and 40 nights. I have to lick her giant sunglasses like the sun would never rise again. I must sustain myself on almonds and Diet Cokes. I have to generalize. I have to reject the South, even though it's my Eden. I have to forget the Central Valley ever existed, except for Sacramento. I have to forget niggas existed. I have to start using the term African Americans. I have to learn how to be subtle about class, so subtle that I even forget that poor white folks exist. I have to go to Mexico to get lazy and brown. I have to use words like lazy and brown because yes, Joan Didion did actually describe Mexicans as lazy and brown. Don't buy her books. That's not in the essay, just a warning. I have to watch The Panic in Needle Park and focus on the dialogue and forget how Al Pacino was incredibly fuckable. I have to write the perfect sentence. I have to learn how to weave. I have to watch South Central burn and only talk about the weather. And even after all that Joan told me during our late night Ouija board chats, I wasn't ready for such an undertaking. I have not learned how to fear the uneasiness of Los Angeles' air. Are you afraid of the fires in Watts? Joan asks, and I don't answer her. I have family on 3rd and Wilmington. Part 3. As a child, there are three things I knew about my mama's father. He was Afro-Seminole, he had blue eyes, and he loved her very much. This, and his name was James Lockridge. On days when my mama would give way to her emotions, she repeated these facts to me like an incantation. She never told me about his eyes or his indigeneity as a way to exotify or blue-eye him, but rather to stitch together a father she lost in 1974. And in return, I remind her of her memories, validating to her that yes, she was born to a man that loved her, a man named James Lockridge. And as the years have gone by, she's told me more about him. The last time she saw him was during the funeral procession. On one particularly sleepy night, she told me she doesn't believe he was in that casket. And I think she might have been right. Perhaps in that casket there was just a card with those facts, or a single blue eye, disjointed as he is in my mama and I's memory. I carry him with me, as we do all our ancestors, but his absence doesn't haunt me because I'm content with the fact that my mother, whose presence is mythic, might as well have been born of woman in story. I'm a natural collector of stories. As a kid, I would help my mom and dad clean out their wallets, collect their receipts, and imagine the days that they had. Like I know to this day, on October 9th in 2011 at 2:13 p.m., my dad bought a medium orange juice from McDonald's. I can imagine him pulling up to the window fixed on that sugary drink, because that's how Daddy is and that's how dads are despite their diabetes diagnoses. I would keep note of these moments because for me, to love is to remember, is to hold the parts of their son. I come from a long line of lovers who care for everyone but themselves. Our loves, like our self-neglect, is passed from generation to generation like muscle memory. It's because of this I can be bad about opening up. I will tell everyone's story before my own. But as of late, I've been sharing the story of my life with my love, as love's often beguile us to do. I've spoken about how much I miss LA, but it's larger than LA, because LA, San Francisco, London, these are bodies and places that inhabit and signify so much more. And I know that I miss LA for its predictability. I miss the predictability of the blue skies, the prison welcome home parties, the weather forever being 76 degrees, as if God left the thermostat on, the hood ice cream trucks that always have my favorite Tweety Bird popsicle, the one with the gum for eyes for the real ones. I miss the payday loans, the Inglewood kickbacks, being called fast by aunties who can't keep a man. I miss the car chases down city streets that end at the driver's mama's house. Because we all know mama's house is the safe zone and cops can't touch you there. The city will burn, the people will burn, we will all find a way to wake up and do it over again. There was a safety in our stuckness. Each of these things are a part of my son, a person who is securely fixed to this fire. But I'm not on fire anymore. I've been surprisingly soft and open for my love. Perhaps it's because I think he's different. Perhaps this is me saying, look behind me at all the girls I've been. Love them like you love me now. Carry this history of me when I'm too heavy and scattered to hold. Thank you.